Hello, welcome back, or welcome. You clicked on this video because you wanted to see a haul and I will give it to you. I decided this year that I'm going to be doing quarterly book hauls because my book buying habits are starting to speed up a little. So I feel like if I wait till June and then December to do 2 collective book hauls, it'll be a little much. Looking at this stack, I think I made a good decision. So this is a collective book haul from all the books that I've bought since the beginning of the year, January to March. Let's get started, yeah? First, actually I have a classic here. This is the only classic that I've bought. So this year, and that was The Pickwick Papers. What did I say? I don't even know what I just said. The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. There you go. This is very large. It's a very huge classic, and it is his first work. I was actually reading this for the for the Tolstoy versus Dickens debate that Emma and Carolyn were doing. But the thing is, last week I got super unmotivated. It was the week before spring break, and I had split this for 21 pages each, so it was manageable. And you see, I literally got like a little more than halfway through. I'm on page 400. And I just got behind, and now I'm too far behind. Like, I could split it up again so I could finish it, but I think I'm just gonna stick to what I'm in the mood for right now, which is like fiction and sapphic fantasy. But actually, I was really liking this. Like, if you asked me to rate this right now, I'd probably give it like a 4-star. I do think it's quite witty, it's funny. The characters will just start telling of stories and such, and all of those are so dark. Like the Madman's manuscript, for example, that one's my favorite thus far. And it's just... that is a big drug. That's a big drug. So it definitely shows Dickens' like darker side of writing, but it's funny. I like it. I don't even know how to describe to you what this book is about. It's just about the Pickwickian society. It's a little intimidating, but I recommend you listen to this audiobook version. It's what I'm listening to. And the narrator is British, and it just makes more sense with the tone of the book. And then he also does all these like creative and different voices for all of the characters. So there you go. There you go. Also, this book has like a strange smell. I don't know. This might sound weird, but I don't really like the smell of new books as much as I do the smell of old books. Like, new books have this weird chemical smell. Recently, I bought The Six of Crows duology. Of course, we all know. Everyone's reading the Grishaverse right now. I actually read the Shadow and Bone trilogy earlier this month. Right? Yeah. And I was just so in love. I immediately needed to get the duology, and I wanted to own the duology. A, because they're like significantly cheaper than the trilogy, so might as well. And also the library, because I read the Grisha trilogy from my library on the digital cloud library. The hold was for like another month, 2 months, and I was not waiting, so I just decided to buy it. I think we all know. We know the Six of Crows duology. I'm actually currently reading Six of Crows. I decided it was time. Actually, as soon as I stop filming this video, I'm gonna read it, but yeah, what else do I say? Why are these books so big? From Better World Books, actually, I bought Beastly Bones by William Ritter. You'll see me talk about this one in my wrap-up for this month as well. This is, of course, the second book in the Jacoby series, which is a almost Victorian mystery series, except it's not Victorian like London, it's like Victorian America. They just investigate mysteries, and this one is about how the crew goes to another place to look at bones that have recently been found that are believed to be dinosaur bones. I would recommend this, but I'll get more into my thoughts at the end of the month. Oh god, should I talk about this? I bought the entire Truly Devious trilogy. I have a video actually coming out where I read the entire Truly Devious trilogy, so that might already be out depending on when I get to editing this, but I'm more prone to editing this before that because this is going to be quicker to edit. But I bought it. I bought the first book off of Amazon, and the only reason I bought it so soon was because with Beastly Bones I had bought these two because they were really inexpensive for the hardcovers. When did I buy this one? When did I buy this one? I don't even know. Wait, where? Oh, I'm missing a book. Duh. I had bought these two, so talking about the monster, we have House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. I bought this, I was just looking out for a secondhand copy because this book is expensive. It can go to like $20 sometimes. So Better Books finally had it for like $9, which was pretty good to me. And it is a bit like damaged, which I do not mind at all. I love used books. It has like a water damage and I don't know, this rip at the back. But it's cool because it's like, why? Oh, there's colored pictures in here, that's fun. But I think we all know this book as well. I'm actually going to read this for a video that you might not see till the summertime because I don't feel like getting into this book right now. But I still haven't bought the other books for that video anyways. I don't know. This book is cool, I guess. Also with that order to make it $10, I bought the second book in the Agency series, The Body at the Tower by Y.S. Lee. This is another like kind of Victorian mystery series, actually set in the UK. I really like the new covers that they did because the old covers are very much of their time. And this is a spy series. Our main character is a spy and she's just on these missions. And I think this one is about a murder mystery too. So that's interesting because the first one was politically motivated. This one's a murder mystery and it has a slow burn romance, which I'm not exactly sure how that's going to end up. Literally nothing happened in the first book. And I don't know if anything is going to happen because I don't know if this is a YA series or a middle grade series. I'm excited to get back into this series. I actually bought a book from Dollar Tree too. This is the only one I've gotten from Dollar Tree. It's not like we've gone too much this year, but I got The Birth of Venice by Sarah Dunant. This was actually a book that I had on my TBR, which is like interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before, happen to me before. But I was really interested in reading this one in fall last year because it's about a 15-year-old girl, and I don't really read much about 15-year-old protagonists. And the thing was, I was 15 at the time. No longer am I 15, but I was at the time, which is why I wanted to read it. So this is just about a 15-year-old girl in the Renaissance, which sounds interesting to me. I've never read set in the Renaissance, really anything before the 1850s. So I think this is going to be cool. It's going to have this very much like artistic culture to it. And then there's also some like marriage plots in here and her trying to escape her fate. It sounds fantastic. It's definitely the type of historical fiction that I'm into, and I really, really do vibe with this cover. From Savers the other day, actually, this was my most recent purchase as of today, but I found Sanctum by Madeleine Roux, which is the second book in the Asylum series, the exact book I needed. And so the fact it was there at the thrift store, it was like fate. You may or may not know, I really vibed with Asylum the first time I read it many years ago, and then I reread it last year. I finished it last year because I started the reread technically in 2019, and I wasn't really vibing with it. Stereotypical gay character, or poorly, I should more say poorly written gay character. Boring. It felt like a prequel more than anything. I mean, seize the opportunity, seize the book, because this is the exact book I needed in the series, so I should have taken it. Really, the extra content in books is like gone at the thrift store, but the person who owned this before didn't take it out, so that's cool. And I'm not like not interested in horror anymore, but I've moved on to like sapphic fantasy, but I definitely will get to these because I still really love these. So to complete my Katie Allinger collection, except for the other one, but I'm not going to buy the other one until I need to, which was her most recent release in 2020, yes. But I bought The Dead Girls of Hysteria Hall by Katie Allinger. So this was her last release before she went on a few-year hiatus, and I never read this one because by this point in my life I was extremely busy. So now I have it. I'll read it eventually. You may or may not know, I'm doing like a reread of all her books. She is like one of my comfort authors. I love her books so much. They're just like supernatural mysteries almost. And I think this one is dealing with a haunted house. And then I have like some adult horror here. 2 of these are self-published, one of them is not. I'll talk about the one that's not. I don't know if I've talked about this book on my channel yet, but it's Off Season by Jack Ketchum. Oh yeah, I did talk about this book in my 21 for 21 video, but I bought it, of course. I really do like this cover. I don't know. It's kind of like supermarket book cover, except this book you would not find in a supermarket, probably. This is just about cannibalism, like a cannibal family that hunts down a group of people, I think they're co-workers, that are in their off season and decide to go like vacationing. And it sounds like a good time. This is the uncut version that got released recently. And I'm excited to read this one. I might read this summer, maybe. It sounds like a good summer book. The Forgotten Island by David Sodergren. I love his covers. They all look the same, so it's nice to like collect them. This, I think, is about these tourists that get kidnapped and dropped off on this island with these creatures, and they have to survive. Sounds like a good time. I heard it's a bit gory. I heard it's like survival. It's like a survival story, and for some time, I should have read this then, but I think there's a time in February where I really got into like survival things, so that's why I watched The Wilds. But that would have been good for that, but I'm so excited to read this nonetheless. And like I said, I really love this cover. It's like 80s VHS. And then the final book I have to talk with you about here today is Kill River by Cameron Rubik. This nice, cute book. This is actually the first in the trilogy, and I'm assuming it's like an anthology series almost, because I don't even know what happens in this book. I don't know, maybe the characters survive and they move on to the second book, but this is about a group of kids. They're literally kids. They're like preteens. I think one of them is like 13. They travel down this river at camp one day, and they end up finding themselves at this abandoned water park. And they're vibing, you know, as kids do when they find abandoned places. And then they start getting killed off one by one. It says, Kill River is a wild water park ride filled with blood, gore, and 80s nostalgia. Slasher fans rejoice. Old school horror is back. I talk way too fast. So that is my haul. Thank you so much for watching. I didn't realize how much I've already bought this year, so that's fun. But I will see you all next time, whenever that is. Mwah! Goodbye!